So that is the plan for this Antonov that I was in. It's going on amphibs late this year. And the interior is being turned into a camper, like an RV. Nice. So it's like a tiny home. And the owner is going to tour around tropical islands. So this last winter, he was down there with his other plane in the Bahamas, just touring around. So this one they can actually live in and just live on the coast of wherever. So, go all the way around South America. So anywhere you can find a lot of fuel, I guess. The thing idling on the ramp at like whatever, I don't know how many 100 RPM it would have been, a couple hundred RPM, and it was 10 gallons an hour at idle.
So, man, that's crazy. So what kind of plane was this Antonov? Antonov
AN2.
AN2.
It's the world's largest biplane.
It's the easiest looking thing ever.
You know what you should try and do is after we're done here and you're editing, edit in a picture for everybody that's watching.
That's
exactly what I was gonna do. Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna walk over. There's two of them here now. Actually, I'll walk over to one and I'll just stand in front of it, and you guys can get the full spectrum. But I think it's a 4-blade prop, but the bottom blade is probably starts at my head. So it would be like several feet off the ground.
That's a big plane.
I think they're cheap too.
Yeah, they are. 30,000 US can get you a flying one.
30,000.
Yeah, less than a kitfox.
What?
And you can take all your friends. 4,000 pounds. Payload.
I think the issue though is they burn a little bit more fuel than the kitfox and or oil too.
Yeah, friends got to chip in.
Are they wood wings? What is it? Wood wings, steel tube fuselage?
It's aluminum fuselage and fabric covered tail and wings.
Wood wings?
It's pretty cool. It has a leading edge slats. All right. Well, it's right behind me, so you guys see the tail right there. So I'm gonna jump over the fence. Oh, no, that's not gonna work. 1 second.
Tom, is it easy to fly in a springbank?
See, you can see it like.
Oh yeah.
But I can go around and get up close to it.
I want to come see that place.
I've heard a lot of stories of how difficult it is to get into, but then I flew into it last fall, just after I brought my plane back, and I had no problem at all. They were pretty nice and pretty relaxed getting in there.
For the most part, the controllers are pretty cordial. There's a couple of times that they get cranky, but usually that's just from all the students, kind of screwing up and making mistakes. But call ahead. You'll be talking to Calgary anyway. Probably call Calgary first, and then they'll hand you off to Springbank, and it's pretty straightforward.
All right.
Okay, that's the oil cooler right there. So I guess the bottom blade is at my shoulder, but
you might get one for 30,000. But like, what's that prop cost to overhaul?
Yeah, that's the thing. So you guys can you see that?
Yeah, they're probably like $4,000 a cylinder, too.
Well, there's only 9, so that's a little more than what you pay for. So the cool thing about them is you can't see on this one, but the leading edges have slats which are pressure activated and only for a certain pressure range. So when you're taxiing, they're actually extending out. And they're ran by a blast tube. This one actually doesn't have them. The other one does. But they have a blast tube on the leading edge. And when you have a certain amount of air pressure in that tube, the slats will deploy. So when you're taxiing, they're both coming out at like different times and kind of like going out and in, out and in. But when you're cruising, they're both in. But if you slow down and pull the power off and pull the stick all the way back, the plane will just slowly float down to the ground. So there's no published stall speed for it. So the emergency procedure in like a IFR situation or some situation where you can't see the ground or where you're just going down to the ground without engine power is just pull back.
Man, is it because the tail is too small? Like you can't get enough elevator to stall?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Russian bear. I love it.
We got our footholds to climb up onto the tail.
Yeah.
But this is all aluminum. It's got the big door right here. So it's got a little door and a big door, so you can put in all your big cargo. The guy that owns these, he will load up his dirt bikes and then go up to the, like, I don't know, Red Deer Forestry Strip and then go dirt biking out there or somewhere else. But yeah, they're like, I mean, you look at that plane, and you look at, like, I'm walking, like.
Is that the drain plug cover on the bottom there?
Yeah, so right in here, this cover up here is actually where you drain all the cylinders. This is your probably your oil cooler. Yeah,
he's got a cover that's open underneath there. It looked like. Yeah,
there's just an oil tank in there with the drain on it.
Right.
This one is actually quite a bit different than the other one that he was flying because it's a flying plane, so it's set up. This one they flew in. It came from Iqaluit down to Wisconsin. Then he flew it from Wisconsin to across to Victoria, I think, or something like that, to the East Coast or West Coast, and then just brought it here like a month ago. So, but it's got 3,500 hours. The other one that we were in has 300 hours since new.
That's crazy.